My people, the Fulani youth have come out together to speak. Oh, now they have come out in one voice to say that why the attacks in their schools, mosques, and even in different states. Listen, don't go anywhere. Watch this video to the very end. You would see everything they have come together to ask, saying, why is this? Why is that? I think it's time to divide the nation. It's time for everybody to go their separate ways. Don't go anywhere. Click the subscribe button if you've not done so. Like this video and don't forget to drop your thoughts in the comments.
There's a big attack on the educational system in northern Nigeria. There's a serious agenda to keep the people of northern Nigeria uneducated. Why was Almajiri school system scrapped? Why was it abandoned? Why are the insurgents and insecurity affecting schools? Why is the Almajiri system that is leading a lot of children astray, that is causing untimely death of children, malnutrition? All these abandoned children are used as pawns during whatever. Why are they still allowed to function?
When you start addressing problems at the root cause, they will say you are either radical or you are being insensitive to humanity. They even try to convince you that there's dignity in begging. There's dignity in begging. There's nothing wrong with begging. And that is why a typical northerner is very comfortable with begging. Go everywhere. They have the highest number of beggars. There are so many in their state that they are now spreading across other states. And that is why I liked what Fashola initiated at a point in time, that all the beggars were arrested. If you catch any beggar on the street, you lock him up. You are not being insensitive to humanity.
All right. So I came across this video where some northern youth are complaining of high rate of poverty in the north. They are also complaining of high rate of, uneducated northerners. They are saying that northern youth and northern children don't want to go to school again. That the only thing, in fact, the only profession they prefer now is begging. That is what they prefer, and they are asking what is happening. What will be of northern youth in the years to come? In fact, this has become a major topic in the internet. And after watching this video, I laughed. Anyway, before I tell you really what is happening in the north, I will allow you now to listen to what this lady said. After listening to it again, this video has also gotten to their governors, and some of their governors are beginning to react. Let me allow you to listen to this lady, after which I will tell you something. Please listen to her.
The truth that a lot of us have in our minds, but we are too egoistic to say it out as it is. What really happened to northern Nigeria? Northern Nigeria is a very diverse place. For those in the other part of the country who think that northern Nigeria is just a language, it's just Hausa. No, northern Nigeria has more diverse languages than other parts of the country. It is a region that is built on brotherhood, a brotherhood that is sealed by trade, good relationship. When we talk about northern Nigeria, a lot of people actually believe that northern Nigeria is Hausa or Fulani. No, northern Nigeria is not Hausa or Fulani. Fulani are not even the majority tribe in northern Nigeria. We have tribes like Kanuri, we have the Kataf tribe, the Birams, a lot of tribes in the northern Nigeria. But the truth is, the northern Nigeria thrived as a hub of tolerance. But today, the northern Nigeria has become a shadow of itself because of religious preachers. In my other video, I criticize the fact that I do not support people to insult the religion. Yes, we shouldn't insult the religion. But the problem came from religious preachers. In the past, religion had scholars. They had elders. There were no preachers. There were leaders. For example, in the Muslim faith, there were imams. The imams led the mosque, they led the communities. They set the rules, they settled cases, they worked for the people. They were like local judges. The pastors in the regions where there were Christians, they were also like elders of their community. But when preachers started to spring up, when everybody became knowledgeable, when everybody started to say their minds, when everybody started to talk, when the microphone came, Northern Nigeria is a shadow of itself. You hear a lot of Muslims saying, most especially like places like Kaduna that have divided the state into two, Muslim area, Christian area. You see a lot of Muslims saying, if Kaduna were to be united, if the Christians were here today, we would have been enjoying this and that. And when you go to the Christian communities, they also say the same thing. Look at the areas of the Muslims are so well developed. If the Muslims are here, we will not be facing all of these things. We allowed the microphone, we allowed the preachers, the activists to separate this wonderful arcade of unity. It was not a unity based on selfish interest. It was a unity that was based on collective interest. That is what a lot of the people from the other parts of this country do not understand. While growing up, I used to hear somebody called Abdullahi, somebody called Fatima, somebody called Zainab, and they were Christians. Even though Islam is the majority religion in the northern parts of Nigeria, but the people practice their religions freely, but they claimed Muslim names, and they were proud of it. There is a setup, I know, where somebody said his name Haji Isaac, because there was unity. They kept their faith, they kept their lifestyles, until the preachers came. We are not talking of elders. We're not talking of Islamic scholars and elders. We are talking of the preachers who came, and they started to preach disunity, and they started to preach enmity. The preaching was always, your enemies are planning this, your enemies are planning that, and everybody started to walk against each other instead of walking for each other. In northern Nigeria, every Friday there are people who want to convert to Islam. Today, is that happening? Today we're even scared there are people who are going to leave Islam, not because the Islam changed. Why were they coming before and why are they not coming now? Is it because the Islam changed? No, it is not because the Islam changed. It is because the people changed. The northern Nigeria that is so much respected is being mocked. Because of what? Your initial strength of being tolerant, of being welcoming. The power is stripped off of you. Is it how we're going to sit down? I want to ask you something. Where are those activists today? I call them activists. I don't call them religious people. The real religious people are at home, settling cases, uniting families, bringing peace to the land. These are people who stand in front of the microphone, in front of the cameras, in our mosques and our churches, who always talk against others. And because we applaud them, when they talk, we shout Allahu Akbar. When they talk, we shout Hallelujah. That is the reason they succeeded. Now look at every one of them today. Some of them, the Muslim preachers, we know them. Some of them, they preach you, cover your eyes and cover your faces, but their wives are not wearing hijab. Some of them are telling you, divorce your wives, we're not going to tolerate this. They are misogynistic to women, but we see them with their wives in restaurants, abroad, chilling. Some of them are riding in private jets, but today you don't even have your farm to farm peacefully because there is insecurity. These preachers are the ones who have destroyed the northern Nigeria. I'm not calling on Muslims alone, neither am I calling on Christians alone. But preachers are the problem of northern Nigeria and Nigeria itself. Let's go back to having scholars. Let's go back to having leaders. Let's stop having preachers. Those who come to the front of the camera and just preach whatever they like and say whatever would instigate the masses and would increase their agility, not what will increase their humanity. Today, northern Nigeria is weeping in the hands of these preachers. And then the enemy crept into it and expanded the whole thing. Before, it was a family issue. The Muslims fight the Christians fight the Muslims. Sometimes it was even ethnic. It was not about religion. It was the Hausa against the Kataf against the Hausa, the Fulani against this and that. But now it has expanded. Today, it is even inviting international recognition. And when you know that when international recognition comes in, of course, they are the liberators. They will bring democracy. And you know what democracy means. Democracy to your oil, democracy to your gold, democracy to your farms, democracy to your land. Northern Nigeria, it is time to ask each other for forgiveness. It is time to ask each other for forgiveness. Nobody is right. Nobody is wrong in this light. We have been deceived. We have been manipulated. It is time for us to all wake up. It is time for us to all wake up, because when we look back, we are all going to lose.
Why are the insurgents and insecurity affecting schools? Why is the Almajiri system that is leading a lot of children astray, that is causing untimely death of children, malnutrition, all these abandoned children are used as pawns during whatever? Why are they still allowed to function? Account for the lives of these children when they die untimely? Who accounts for them when they do not eat? Why is this system allowed to flourish in the north? Even though we know it does more harm than good. A lot of people will come after me and start attacking me and say, Almajiri, you don't understand it, keep quiet. I know, but I don't do that before. So it's not news. I'm not bothered about you and I don't even care about what you think. I'm just asking these questions. Why is it that all the schools that have been attacked are mostly in the north?
You've heard them, right? Now, let me give you a little clip of what their leaders is saying. Yes, because their leader has also, they are taking the blame, of course. Just listen to them.
All of us, including my humble self standing here, all the politicians in northern Nigeria, in the last 15 years, we should be held accountable to what is happening in northern Nigeria in terms of poverty, unemployment, lack of education, lack of security. As of 2016, some of us that live here in Kaduna, and Northwest in particular, were not aware of anything called banditry, kidnappings, or insurgency. If there's anybody here who is aware of that, can also attest to the fact that as of 2016, not 2019, 16, there was nothing like kidnappings even in Benogwari. I can tell you that for a fact.
How bad is the seeming neglect of the northeast region of the country? You understand that region very well.
No, northwest. I understand northwest. I don't know northeast. I'll tell you, the north. We complain in the northwest that we had a president that we never had anything from. Go to Katsina today, where I come from. There's nothing that we had a president for 8 years. The northwest, let him tell us what he's done. He couldn't even complete the Abuja to Kano highway for 8 years. How more neglectful can that be?
The same thing that the governor of the Northeast is saying. They say, in fact, in terms of infrastructure, the economic corridors have been abandoned.
Absolutely.
In terms of road network, in terms of railway construction. I mean, what has been happening so much that it looks like this has happened over the years without anybody. Could it be the insurgency that has ravaged that region, that destroyed all of this infrastructure, or that region has been like that for years?
No, I'm not, and I'm not minimizing the issues that the governors are raising. The Northeast, because of Boko Haram, has literally been devastated. You sit down with senior military officers that were there, that fought in the field, they will tell you, this is not what we would wish for any region. The whole region has been devastated. Outside Maiduguri, there's not much. The whole region, education is pillaged, we have malnutrition there, the health. Look at the number of doctors in Maiduguri. You would cry. The region has suffered the devastation of Boko Haram, and that is what we are seeing here. And that's exactly what is translating in the Northwest. The region has been in a mess for now 15 years, fighting a war for 15 years. No region can sustain what the Northeast has gone through. But the question is, what have the governors been doing? What do they do? Now governors are awash with money after removal of subsidy. How have they been taking care of the issues of the people? Education, health. They went to Bauchi and they inaugurated the mansion of the government house, as if that's the priority of people of Bauchi. Governors are awash with money and their priorities are messed up. The reality is, in the north, not only the northeast, 3 major problems: ravaging insecurity, excruciating poverty, and hunger. It's all over the region.
The real problem of Nigeria are Northerners. Northerners, Fulani, Hausa are the problem of Nigeria. They don't want our Nigerian progress. If they are not the one in power, then nobody can do it. It's only them that can do it. If you say you deprive Igbo people from having what is supposed to be theirs, allow them to go for their Biafra. If you say Yoruba people are not competent, they cannot rule Nigeria, allow them to go. Then we, the Northerners, should just stay and rule ourselves. If we kill ourselves, that's our business. You cannot say no, because Igbos, you think Igbos are thieves, Igbos are wicked, Igbos are this, they are that, they are this. There's no way that there's not the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you cannot help the Igbos, allow them to go. If you cannot carry Yorubas, if you don't want them to rule you, allow them to go. Then we, the Northerners, will rule ourselves. If it's going to be better. We are one Nigeria, so we want the best for Nigeria. So we should look at where we are going wrong so that we can perfect it.
We're going to stop telling ourselves the truth as northerners, whether you like it or not, whether it hurts or it doesn't. But we're just going to have no option than to tell ourselves the truth. The fact is, your ideology, our ideologies and concept as northerners is retrogressive in nature. It's anti-developmental in nature. It's holding the country back in so many ways. Let's be factual with this. Let's look at it. When the elders started making all this havoc on communities, people advocated for the anti-open grazing bill. Who were the front runners in regards ensuring that this bill doesn't come through? The northerners. They kicked against it seriously, that at the end of the day it could not scale through. And here do we have a situation now where the Fulanis have migrated from making havoc on the north to the other parts of the country. And funny enough, you went against this bill, but when Fulanis are now committing this havoc on people, you tend to dissociate yourself. You say that it's not a northern thing, it's a Fulani thing. Nobody can tell me that. It's a northern thing, it's a northern ideology. So let's not distinguish between the tribes, because the last time I checked, the northerners were the strong advocates. Majority of the northerners opposed the bill. And look at what open grazing is doing to us. How long are we going to go this way? Again, look at what happened in regards to the closure of school during Ramadan. A lot of people, reasonable Nigerians, came out to say that this is wrong, this is anti-developmental. It doesn't stop you from doing your religion, it doesn't stop you from being who you are. But what did the North do? A quite majority were celebrating and were saying this is a good thing, this is a very big progress for the propagation of the gospel of God. And look at where we are now. So how are you going to tell me that the northerners are not hypocritical in nature? And let's face it, this is what the politicians do, and who are their disciples? Their disciples are the common northerners, the majority that are poor. The second point is the fact that when there was a bill in regards birth regulation, what happened? Who were the front runners in ensuring that that bill doesn't come through? It was still the North. I remember a senator coming to the Senate House with 5 or 6 of his wife, trying to convince people how he is happily married and is responsible. But let's face it, Oga, if you are capable, you have the capacity to marry 5 wives and have many children as much as you want. What now happens to your brothers, those that doesn't have the capacity and are marrying so many women and are giving birth to so many children that they can't control? Is it the same thing? How long are we going to continue this as northerners? It's so appalling. Until you wake up, you will always be considered inferior to any other region. And the fact is, don't expect that no matter the agitation, no matter your grievances, this will bring it to a standstill. It's still going to continue till you change your mentality, till you change your orientations, till the common man in the north starts challenging these allies that hold you at ransom. How many of the allies do you have their children in Almajiri schools? Why should you open Almajiri schools and send children to Malams that doesn't even have the capacity to feed his own family? And you tell me that this is not a northern agenda, and you tell me the problem of the north is not itself. The problem is we are the problem. Until we wake up, nothing is going to change. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Who were as well the major advocates of the Muslim ticket? The north. And where has it brought us? Look at where it has brought us. And I'm telling you wholeheartedly that that concept has not yet changed. It's still in the minds of the Lord. They're still waiting for the next election. During the Muslim tickets, a lot of imams were preaching with video evidence. Even some top politicians, top northern politicians, preaching, telling them on the need for us to, for them not to have a Muslim ticket that will promote the establishment of the kingdom of God. Indeed, the kingdom of God is established. You are all welcome to the kingdom of God.
This terrorism, this banditry, this carnage, it's not just happening by mistake. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. A multi-billion-dollar industry because it takes a lot of money on defense budget. It has a lot to do with the sale of drugs. It has a lot to do with mining and illegal bunkering and illegal and illicit mining. And look at the areas that are generally affected by this. Take the northeast, for instance. In the northeast, you have the blue diamond. That is a strategic mineral. You have oil at the Chad Basin that is being explored right now, but illegally. You have Zamfara. If you go to Zamfara, Zamfara has more gold than Ghana. Zamfara's gold is being traded in Dubai and other parts of the country. There is a market called Nigerian gold in Dubai. Go and check. So who is doing this mining? Most times they are the governors, the people in power. They are the ones doing it in connivance. With foreign mercenaries. Can you remember? Have we forgotten when they said there is a no-fly zone in Zamfara? Why should there be a no-fly zone? There isn't even an airport in Zamfara, but aircrafts land and they take off from Zamfara. And let me tell you something else. In Zamfara, every container that comes from China ends up in Zamfara. You know why? Because in Zamfara, the soil in Zamfara has all the strategic minerals that you can think of. So when the containers come in from China, they land they end in Zamfara, and a bag of Zamfara soil is today sold at 5,000. So they need to displace the people to allow them to continue with their mining.